This is what The Simpsons originally looked like. And this, ladies and gents, is what The Simpsons became. The show's come a long way since 1989, and the animation's changed more than Marge's voice, but what exactly is different? Well, today, I'm walking you all through the top secret rule book for creating modern Simpsons. There are 6 categories of rules, so let's start with the show director David Silverman's most important set of no-nos, eyes. The bulgier, the better. That's how it's done over at the Simpsons Animation Studio, wherever in South Korea that is. Bulgy eyes make the characters more expressive, recognizable, lets them convey emotions without the need for complex animation. There's also a conspiracy theory that the eyes are bulgy because Springfield is so frackin' polluted, and I mean that sounds way more plausible than the whole fake moon landing thing.
Well, howdy, little fella. Ow, no, I can't wait till this is...
Was he a human who mutated into a fish, or a fish who mutated into a guy? Yeah, we'll never know. Oh, and there's also this unspoken golden rule for a pupil replacement. 7 dots must fit from one end to the other. Anything less, anything more, and the scene ain't making it to television. Proportion is a major factor when it comes to animating The Simpsons. When drawing Marge, for example, her eyes must be 2 eyeballs length away from the bottom of her necklace. Draw them too low or too high, and you'll be kicked out of the animation studio faster than she can crump with her sweetie pie.
I'll crump with your sweetie pie.
Breaking these rules are guaranteed to get you thrown out by the scruff of your neck, too. 1, never cross a character's eyes, and 2, never, ever use a complete circle for their eyelids. Closed, half open, squinting, there are no exceptions. So good job to whoever animated that episode where Homer got stoned off his butt. When animating The Simpsons from a front angle, their eyes must always have a small space between them. Supposedly, it's to make them look more realistic, but if you ask me, it just turns them into straight-up nightmare fuel. I mean, yikes. Front-facing Bart can become my sleep paralysis demon, actually. Like, he's not even scary, just plain ugly. And that's really saying something because Moe and Burns are right there. And oh yeah, how could I possibly forget the most glamorous part of the eye? The lashes! The ladies of Springfield aren't complete without their beautiful eyelashes. And fun fact, Mac once released a line of Marge Simpson falsies back in 2014. Missed opportunity to create a shotgun-shaped lipstick, if you ask me.
Close your eyes, Marge. Oop.
You've got it set on.
Okay, this time try to keep your nostrils. Now I have to go get my cold cream gun.
Where eyelashes are concerned, animators aren't allowed to make them too long nor too short, and there must be even spaces between all 4 of them. Most characters have 4 lashes, but babies like Maggie have 3, and some characters like Patty and Selma have as little as 2. I guess chain smoking is just as bad for eyelash growth as it is for your lungs.
Love to smoke like a chimney. Although we'll croak before 2003.
Crazy how they thought they'd croak before 2003, but here they are alive and kicking in 2026. Cigarettes don't come cheap. Imagine all the money Patty and Selma would have saved over the past 37 years. Also, with 8 measly eyelashes between them, they're probably still on the same tube of mascara they bought in 1989. I bet Marge's blue mascara is still going strong, too.
You're just jealous because you can't pull off hot pants. Blue mascara is who I am, Mom.
We've covered every rule about drawing eyes, but what happens if a character wears glasses? In that case, eyes must sit vertically and wider on the head. If a character like, say, Smithers or Professor Frank remove their glasses, they have eyes just like the other characters. However, a special rule is enforced whenever Milhouse takes off his specs. His eyes must become 2 small black dots, and when they close, they have to become 2 little lines. I guess that really helps emphasize the nerdiness of his character.
A free man. Where's Puppy Goo Goo? Mom! Puppy Goo Goo, fetch me a dream.
Ned's eyes also come with their own set of rules. Animators aren't allowed to overlap his lenses, and his real eyes must be seen from any side profile. You can see this in action in Hurricane Nettie, aka Flanders' most iconic moment in the entire show. Enjoy.
Let's do anything right!
Ned, we meant well.
My family and I can't live in good intentions, Marge.
See, it's the finer details like that which make the characters seem like real people. We've pretty much covered every rule for animating puny little earthling eyes, but what about Kang and Kodos? Well, there's not a lot to them. They just have one big eye with one long pupil. They must, however, be drawn with 2 rows of eye bags. What can I say? They're just so tired from carrying every Halloween special on their backs. After all their hard work, don't they deserve a little private me time once in a while?
Marge, want some company? Silence means yes. Now, how about the neck of my butt? Oh, Marge, your tentacles feel so good. Someone's taking the highway to the danger zone.
Tentacles are a problem in today's society. If you know, you know. Right, on to the next rule. Hair. We'll start with Homer, as that balding fricker will be the easiest to explain, right? Animating his 2 pathetic strands of hair is pretty simple. Just imagine 2 croquet hoops in front of each other. As for the M on the side of his head, the bottom point always needs to be just inside of his head. Fun fact, that M shape was on purpose, as yes, it absolutely stands for matte graining. This rule actually gets broken an awful lot in the show, so I guess it's not enforced all that much. Look carefully at this scene from Bart the Lover, and you'll see that the middle point of Homer's M is outside his head.
Don't hit it, Chuck! You bat!
Homer,
What is it, Flanders?
I have a bone to pick with you.
If it's about your camcorder, I lost it.
Now, you'd probably think that Marge's hair would be super difficult to animate, but it's actually as easy as pie. All you need to do is draw 3 equal-sized balls from the center of her head, and bammo whammo, you've created the world's worst person to sit behind at the movies.
I can't believe we're paying to see something we get on TV for free.
Well, maybe there's a little more to her iconic updo than that. One major rule for drawing Marge's hair is that it must be tilting back slightly. If it was drawn completely straight, then it just wouldn't look natural. Not that there's anything natural about a 4-foot blue beehive anyway, but whatever. Bart's hair is really where things start to get interesting because there's a rule in place that he needs 9 points. No more, no less. Bart's hair can't be too sharp or too puffy either. The only exception to this is when his hair gets combed for church, and that's totally an effort he makes for Jesus, not the ladies. Especially not the Reverend's daughter.
Hi, I'm Bart Simpson. I don't think God's words have ever sounded so plausible. I was incredibly moved by your reading.
Thanks, Art. I have to go over here now.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Bart.
Lisa's hair has a specific number of points too, 8 to be exact. That's her actual age, so I wonder if the animators did that on purpose. Sometimes she can be seen with 9 points if she's facing forward, but that's allowed as long as everything's proportionate. And by that I mean her points adhere to these exact measurements: 1 3/4 eyeball lengths from the top of her eyes to the top of her hair. The rules in place for Maggie's hair are basically the same as her big sis, 8 points. The Simpsons kids' hairs are far from the most complicated in the show, though. Barney Gumbel's hair, for example, follows a strict 13-point rule. 2 points at the forehead, 4 points on top of the middle part, 2-point cowlick, 3 bushy points at the back, plus 1 short point and 1 long point as the sideburns. This 13-point rule was actually broken in the episode Homer, during the scene where we see Barney sitting at the bar, because what else would he be possibly doing?
I'm a human guinea pig. You mean like medical testing? Go military, chewing stuff like you chew on a telephone wire till you get a shock.
Chewing stuff? Oh, all right, okay.
Did you catch that? Barney was missing a shorter point on his sideburns, then it suddenly reappears a few seconds later. I'm guessing the animator picked up on their mistake and rushed to fix it before getting fired. Imagine getting the boot over a missing frackin' sideburn. Also, look at Moe in that scene. His hair has 7 scallops. This is another hair rule the Simpsons have to follow. For Moe, the scallops are specifically drawn unevenly to give him more of an unruly look, and boy is he unruly.
I'm gonna chop you into little pieces and make you into a Rubik's Cube.
Catching the little punk who's been prank calling him for 37 years sounds like a tough job. Kind of like animating Sideshow Bob, well, at least his hair. His crazy locks are probably the hardest to animate in The Simpsons. I mean, just look at him. Like, has the dude ever heard of a hairbrush?
The spirited little scamp who sent me to this dank, urine-soaked hellhole.
During the animation process, Bob's hair kind of starts off with these Sydney Opera House looking shark fins, then scallops are added to create texture. This isn't necessarily a rule, but the animators try to think of a palm tree as much as they can when drawing Bob. It just makes his insane hair so much easier to draw. Kinda worried I'll scream, "Aw, Sideshow Bob," anytime I see a palm tree now. Honestly, I still wouldn't come close to being the craziest person in my neighborhood. Don't tell that to my neighborhood, please. Oh yeah, and since we're already on the subject of clowns, there's a rule in place that Krusty's hair droops whenever he's feeling depressed. And believe me, if anything made him feel down in the dumps, it was that never-ending overtime Bart made him do in Treehouse of Horror 2.
346 consecutive hours. Well, it's still on, and all because of one little boy who won't let me stop!
The Simpsons had downright freakish overbites when they were on the Tracy Ullman Show. This exaggerated facial feature became a trademark of Matt Groening's work and is still around today, just to a far less insane degree, obviously. I mean, just try and find one character in the entire Simpsons universe that doesn't have an overbite. Oh wait, like even the fracking dentist has one.
How often do you brush, Ralph?
3 times a day, sir.
Why must you turn my office?
You're right. I don't brush. I don't brush.
Let's look at a picture book of British smiles.
Speaking of teeth, several characters in The Simpsons must show teeth even when their mouth is closed. This includes Otto, Nelson, Frink, Barney, Cletus, Brandine, and of course, Mr. Burns. With 803 episodes down and more to come, the animators seem to have totally forgotten about this rule. Like, I've seen it get broken countless times in the modern seasons. Here's just one example from the episode Burger Kings.
I must have more of these,
Hamburgers?
You're eating people from Hamburg?
Each character has a set number of teeth that must be shown too. Basically, all the idiots show 3 teeth when their mouths are shut, Frank shows 2 buck teeth because he's a geek, and Mr. Burns shows 6, but you'll see a full set if you're looking at him straight on. And maybe don't do that because I'm definitely having nightmares tonight.
This cornball stunt is gonna put us over the top.
Whoa, he's here!
There are a few general rules that apply to every character's teeth. For example, when a character gives a big pearly white grin, the lines between their teeth cannot be parallel and they must be slanted slightly forward in line with the neck. Whenever we see inside a character's mouth, their teeth must be curved. Sharp teeth, square teeth, or big pointy smiles are never allowed, and the upper teeth absolutely cannot move. Only the bottom teeth are allowed to move when a character's talking. So basically, if you want to get fired from The Simpsons, just draw this. We're moving on to face now, folks. We've already covered the eyes, teeth, and hair, so what more could there really be to it? Well, there is one major rule show director David Silverman has for the modern Simpsons faces: no demonic facial expressions. And by that, I mean this.
Burp champion of the world.
Burp? I mean, Bart?
Scary. The Simpsons aren't allowed to be animated with any kind of demonic facial expressions, as they aren't cruel. Deliberately, at least. I guess David Silverman forgot about the whole sun chained in the attic thing then.
You go up in the attic like an animal and fed him a bucket of fish heads once a week.
Honestly, I'm glad this rule exists. Like, I'd rather wake up at 3 a.m. and see Slender Man at the end of my bed than any of those faces. Holy frick, Slender Man, that's a throwback. Body is quite an interesting category because every character's body is totally unique to them. We'll start with Homer. As the fat frick of the family, it's important for his belly to receive a full curve during the animation process. His back needs to curve slightly, the bottom of his shirt needs to hang slightly over his butt, and the cuffs of his pants must exactly be half the length of his eyes. That's if he can find them.
There goes the last lingering thread of my heterosexuality.
Whenever Homer's running, which is a rare event, his hair is supposed to detach from his scalp to indicate speed. Just like Homer, Marge also bends and moves like a real person. In the early days of the show, animators kept making Marge move in a way that looked too masculine. Silverman had to step in and remind everyone that Marge should always be drawn in a graceful, attractive, and sexy way. This explains why she has long, slender fingers, but the rest of the family have stubby ones. Just like strangling.
You're alive! This is wonderful!
No thanks to you, Homer.
Are you little?
Fat little fingers are a Simpson family trait, so naturally Bart had to be drawn with the same kind of hands as his daddy. The sleeves of his shirt are a little different to Homer's, though. They're a bit more bullet-shaped, whereas his old man's take on a kind of teacup shape. The circle on the inside of Bart's shoes must always be on the inside. He's a little chubby, but not obese like Homer, so his shirt has to be drawn with a line that defines his stomach. When you're animating a show with dozens upon dozens of recurring characters, keeping track of height is just as important as any other design detail. All Simpson animators receive a height comparison chart of Springfieldians so they can draw characters with consistent proportions and avoid accidentally making someone taller or shorter than they're supposed to be. Looking at this chart, it's actually quite insane to see just how short some of these characters really are, especially Chief Wiggum. Like, holy short king alert. Why'd I seriously never notice how tiny he is? Maybe because he's always sitting down, I guess. Like, just look at how much shorter he is compared to Homer, who isn't even all that tall to begin with.
You're the man who reported the lost baby?
Yes.
Can you describe her?
She's a girl. Small.
Bingo!
Oh, Maggie!
You're wanted on 3 counts of criminal neglect.
You found my babe!
Fun fact about our pint-sized police chief, the structure of Wiggum's body is actually inspired by donuts. His head almost has a big gaping hole through the middle toe.
Hurry! They're going fast! That was close.
Now to cover a few general animation rules the Simpsons animators have to follow. 1. No background characters can have hair that resembles the Simpson kids, and with the exception of Krusty the Clown, no man can have a Simpson beard line. The original Season 1 opening credits obviously predate those rules, though. If we just pause here for a moment, you can see two guys with full Homer beards and a teenager who kind of looks like an older version of Bart. Backgrounds, of course, are crucial to the making of the show, and they actually require even more detailing than the characters themselves. This is all to maintain the illusion that Springfield is in fact a real place in a real universe, one in which the Simpsons are a real family. Let's take a look at a standard shot of their family kitchen.
Eepa, what could that be?
When Sinestro threw him into a vat of acid. I believe it's the sound the Green Lantern made. Eepa!
Take a look around and you'll see all kinds of detailing. Corn cobs on the curtains, kitchen appliances, washed dishes left out to dry, a child's drawing of what seems to be a dinosaur pinned on a bulletin board. Everything you'd expect to find in your average family kitchen. When it comes to setting a scene, animators typically follow these 3 perspective rules. First, we've got the one-person perspective. This places the viewer dead center in the room, and you'll normally see this whenever Homer is crashed out watching TV.
You'll forgive me if I keep my old Pontiac. If 70-degree days in the middle of winter are the price of car pollution.
Every object we see in that room is within Homer and Marge's eye lines. For example, we can't see the top of the TV, but we can see the tops of the dressing table and armchair. Now, the Quickie Mart is a good example of two-point perspective in the show. This is where we, the viewer, are looking down at the scene slightly off to the side, allowing us to get a good look at everything Apu is selling today, half of which is guaranteed to already be expired.
My bagels are nothing but week-old donuts.
The rarest perspective in the show is the third-person view. This essentially gives us a bird's-eye angle in the scene, and it's most often used in shots of Springfield Elementary. It lets us take in the entire classroom at once. Who's there, who's missing, who's cheating on the test, and hey, it's not always Bart.
5 seconds till pencil's down.
What's the answer to number 7? Lisa. My cat's name is Mitten. Sorry, Ralph. That would defeat the purpose of testing as a means of student evaluation.
One final animation rule is that all props must be drawn from real-life objects. This ensures they look as realistic as they possibly can be. So the heavens knows what those poor animators had to observe to create this satanic sub.
I really think you should throw it away.
Suggestion noted.
Are you going to eat it?
Marge, I'd like to be alone with the sandwich for a moment.
We've reached the end of the Simpsons secret rulebook now, guys. Why not use these exclusive insider tips to try drawing your favorite Simpson characters? Or if you have no faith in your Ralph Wickam level art skills, click the screen and watch more videos right about now. And as always, guys, thank you for watching.